Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new here, please click on like and subscribe. And please go down the bottom, drop a comment down below, and hit that thumbs up button for me. Now today we're going to be working with smalls again. I've got piles and piles of pieces of wood out in the garage, as many of you have. So I'm going to make these nice little stacking block set out of a big pile of scrap wood we've got here. Now I'm going to be doing mine on the CNC machine because I'm going to be reproducing a lot of these. So I'm going to go ahead and set it up in the CNC so I can cut them out. But you can cut these out with a jigsaw, a bandsaw, if you've got a scroll saw. You don't necessarily have to do that. You can use a couple hole saws, different sizes, and then a drill bit down the center, whatever size you want the bevel to be. Now all these pieces here came from the same project, so they should be the same thickness. They don't necessarily have to be perfect, but if you're going to do them on a CNC or something like that, you probably want them as close as possible so you don't have to keep adjusting the size of your CNC machine. So I'm just checking them all to make sure what they're in tolerance. Now if you're using squares or rectangles, this is a little bit easier to lay this out. Since I'm using triangles, I do have pieces from another one I cut out already. This is my largest circle, so this is going to be a 5-inch circle down on the bottom. And I'm just going to trace this out and then mark the center of it on the piece of wood to make it easier for me to cut a triangle or a circle out of a triangle. I'm going to be cutting this from the center with my CNC machine, so I want to mark the center of my circle. Now again, if you're going to cut this out with a jigsaw or something like that, you don't need to do this step. I'm just doing this step so I can use my CNC machine. You could also use a hole saw. If you're going to make a bunch of these, you may invest in like a 5. I did 5 for my base, 4.5, 4, 3.5, 3, 2.5. I didn't want to get much smaller than that since this is for children. I don't want to be able to get it in their mouth or get choked on it. So I kept mine at 2.5, seemed like a good size. Now I'm just chopping these up a little bit. I will keep the triangles. Again, I try to keep all these little scrap pieces, so all these little triangles will get used in something else. So I'm basically cutting this wood down to the point where I have as little scrap as possible. Now depending on your CNC machine, I do have the option to leave tabs on this when I cut it out, so I can cut the circle out and leave tabs on it, and then use clamps to hold this in place. But since I'm using scrap wood, I'm not going to have a lot of leftover edges on it. I'm going to just go ahead and tape this to the board. I'm going to put tape on this side, tape on the board, a little CA glue, and glue it down to the board. That way nothing moves while it's cutting it out. Now the tape is cheap tape. It's however much tape you can buy for as little as possible. I'm not using this to mask off walls or anything like that, so it doesn't have to be a high grade tape. It's just the cheapest masking tape you can find. You don't really want it to be super sticky, and you don't want it to be super not sticky, but again, the least expensive masking tape you can find has usually been the job, or done the job for me. So here's my base. It's a little bit different. I only did the base to do 5 inches, and the hole in the center, I'm doing a 7/8 inch dowel, so I did a 7/8 inch hole, and I didn't go all the way through with the base itself. So when this base piece cuts out, it's going to cut a 7/8 inch hole in it, but it's not going to go all the way through. The rest of the circles, I did 1-inch holes. That way they'd have enough room for a child to slide them over without them being super tight, and they're not super wobbly either. Now our dowels, we make our own dowels here. You can buy dowels if you want to. There's a couple places that I would recommend. I'll put a link in the description below. I've got a separate video if you want to know how to make your own dowels and size them. It takes a little bit longer, but keeps everything authentic, in-house, handmade. Some people consider the dowel handmade. Me personally, I don't see the difference whether you buy the dowels or not. If you can find them at a good price, buy your dowels, save yourself a little bit of work. One other thing, you can save a little bit more wood if you wanted to by using an 1/8 inch bit. I'm using a 1/4 inch upcut bit. By using the 1/4 inch upcut bit, as you can see, I can run my machine a lot faster. I probably need to go a little bit slower. I do end up getting a little chatter out of the side. I've got to sand these anyhow smooth since they're going to a child. But you get a little less chatter if you slow your machine down a little bit. Again, depending on how many you're trying to make in one day. I'm trying to make 5 sets in one day. So I need to keep the machine going at full pace while I'm working on other things. So I've got all my rough pieces cut out here. I peeled the tape off the back of them, and I've got me a piece of leftover dowel rod from the last project I had. Again, I've made a few of these already today. So I'm just going to take the dowel rod, I'm going to measure my stack of wood, and then cut the dowel rod to the length I want. I like leaving these stick up just a little bit. I don't want them like an inch or two out of the top of them, but I don't want it buried down in there again. This is for a small child or somebody that doesn't have dexterity yet that needs to stack them on. So you want to leave enough room that they can hook the top one on the top without it becoming a protrusion or just looking bad. So I'm going to make mine at 4.5 inches here. Now for everybody's favorite fun part is sanding. Now I'm going to hit these with an 80 grit. I'm going to go back over it with a 120 once I smooth my edges over. But I want to hit this with an 80 just to knock off the rough surfaces. And like I said, I got a little bit of chatter on the side, so I need to take it off. And the 80 does that better. Make sure you don't stay in one place too long with the 80 grit on the side, because you will take the round out of it and you end up with a flat spot. And nobody wants a flat spot in it. So I'm just basically going through there and taking out any imperfections that I see in there. And again, it's not super bad, but I need to slow my machine down a little bit when I cut the next set out. Now for your dowel, you can do this how you want. I just round the edge off a little bit so it's not sharp on the edges. No one's going to get cut, scratched, splinters. And I don't want to make a stake out of it either, so don't make a wooden stake out of it. And then I tapered both ends of it so it goes down on my block easier. That's a nice tight fit in there, so I can just hammer it in, but I'm going to put a little glue on it. So over to the rounding part. Now you can round this off however you want. I prefer mine more of a donut shape. I've done a couple that were more oval shaped on the ends. They're a whole lot harder to sand. They look the same to me. I actually like the donut look better. So just get the round over that you want on there. Round them over that you want. And you can also take your sander and you can just knock the edge off that if you really wanted to. But I think it looks a lot better. Be careful with your small pieces. Use tools. Don't use your fingers like I'm doing. I'm a bad example for this. The smallest one is the hardest one. Just make sure you're holding on tight enough to not lose the piece, but fingers are definitely clear of the machine. If it goes out of control or goes flying out of my hand, I've prepared for that, and I've got it held tight enough to not fly out of my hand, and loose enough if it does, it's not going to take my finger off with it. Once you get everything rounded over to where you want it, back to sanding. So again, I'm going to hit this with a 120 now. I'm going to roll my edges in. Any other imperfections I see on there, I'm going to take them out. And my dowel here, I'm just going to take my hand and hand sand it again. If you watch how I make these dowels, basically once I get them to the size I want, I've got a little gauge, I measure them, and I just hand sand these with a drill. So it's already where I need it to be, and it's already been sanded. Back up from my workbench, again, I'm just going to take a little bit of glue. Depending on how tight your fit is, my fit is super tight here. I'm a little bit bigger than I should be, but it's going to go down in there. So I'm just going to line it up on the table. I'm going to make sure it's nice and solid underneath there, and I'm going to give it a couple whacks with a mallet. And then with a damp paper towel, I'm just wiping off any excess. I don't want any squish out on the surface there. Last thing I need to do is make sure the inside of the holes are nice and smooth. I haven't done those yet. I've got an orbital sander with a small bit that I could actually push in there. But since I've rounded off the edges, it would clean out the center. If there was really bad burrs on it, I could do that. But I'm just going to take a piece of sandpaper. As you can see, I've kind of cone shaped it, and I'm just twisting it in there until I get it nice and smooth. So I'm going to finish a couple of these with walrus oil, food safe walrus oil. And I'm not going to use anything like wax or anything like that, because if a child puts it in their mouth and chews on it, you want to make sure it's FDA approved. And you can use mineral oil on this. Mineral oil can be a laxative though. Once it soaks into the wood and it's dry, you're probably not going to absorb enough of it to make your baby sick, but just in case, use an FDA approved coating. Drop your comments below.